Since speedrunning is fresh in everyone's mind lately, I figure I can give everyone my 2 cents on some great tips and tricks that I think will allow you to try for that world record Toontown speedrun so you can brag to your friends that your amazing world record is for a furry game. Anyways, let's jump right in and give you what I believe is probably the most important aspect of speedrunning Toontown. The tasks. Now I know this sounds trivial because tasks are the core part of the run itself, so why wouldn't you pay extra attention to them? Well, there's a bit more to it. The number one thing people should know is task shopping and how to task shop. The definition of task shopping is talking to different HQ officers and seeing what tasks they give you in order to pick the best one out of the bunch. Each officer offers different tasks and it's your job to funnel and pick out the best of the best. What should you be looking for exactly? That brings me to my next point. Knowing the percentages for each street in the playground that you're speedrunning. Knowing the cog percentages on each street will help you pick out the best task that will most likely yield the fastest task completion time. For example, the best task you could take for Toontown Central is looking for lawbots, because there's one street where 70% of the time it's full of lawbots. So taking a task for 3 bottom feeders is way better than taking a task for 3 flunkies, for example. And this brings me to point number 3, knowing where you are. And what I mean by this is, just know where your toon is, what street they're on, what storyline task you're gonna need to do next. Because if you know for a fact that the task you're doing next is probably like blue glue or something on Loopy Lane, before that, take like a frame task that deals with cogs that are located on Loopy Lane, so you can turn the task in and easily run to blue glue and start that task. And always remember, sometimes it's better to return a task to the street HQ than it is to teleport all the way back to the playground and turn it in there. Most of the tips that I have for so far are just general awareness. Picking the right task, knowing a cog percentage on each street, and making sure you just look ahead a little bit. But there are a few skips that I would like to share with you that would save some time. And the number one is training your gags. And I know, again, it sounds like a tip that everyone should know, but let me explain a little bit. Let's say you're speedrunning Toontown Central. It's almost always better to train your throw early because your level 1 and level 2 throw gags can one-shot a level 1 cog, and your level 3 throw gag can one-shot a level 2 cog. And with that said, you know how you use a gag that is a higher level than the cog you're facing and you get no experience for it? Well, once you have level 3 throw, it's encouraged that you hit the cog with a higher level gag than the level that it is. Because not only does it one-shot them, it has a higher chance of hitting, and when you're dancing, you save a few seconds by avoiding to gain any gag points. Keep in mind that this trick is recommended for all playgrounds, and I know what you might be thinking. How am I supposed to train my gags beyond Toontown Central and do well on Donald's Dock and beyond? To that, I have a little known fact about speedrunning to give you. It is in the rules of speedrunning Toontown that you are allowed to train your gags between playgrounds. Meaning after you're done with Toontown Central, so you're allowed to train your gags to level 7 if you so desire. Not too many people know this fact, and I hope you guys take advantage of it while it's still there. The next little skip saves not that much time, but it's still worth it to save some. When a task gives you a fishing task, it's almost always better to, when you leave the building, to go to the fishing place located on the street itself. Now in some cases, I know it doesn't work this way, but in most cases it does. And it's way better than going all the way back to the playground and going all the way back to the building and getting your task done. And to add on to it, if your fishing tasks are spaced out enough, the best thing to do while you're already fishing at the pond is fish until your jelly beans are back up to full, so you don't need to take out specific time in your run to fill up your jar once more. And also, in some cases, it's better to head back to your state if you have jelly beans to spare to fill up there, rather than going to fish in the pond or on the trolley. Trolley is bad. And for the final tip I have for you today, make sure you know what the storyline tasks are asking of you. If you have yet to memorize what task has you to do what specifically, it's going to be a bit harder to know exactly where you want to go to complete the task as fast as possible. And in the later playgrounds, you have to know which storyline task is better than others so you're not spending extra time completing a task that you could have completed much faster had you chosen a different one. For example, in the Berg, there's 2 1-point laugh boost tasks that you have to choose from. One is named Chicken Boy, and the other I can't remember at the moment. It's almost always better to pick Chicken Boy because it doesn't have you doing a lot of bull crap that the other task will have you do. Plus, if you're ever confused, there's always the wiki. Well, that's all the tips I have for you today. If you have any questions, feel free to ask them in the comments, and I might just answer them on my live stream, or in a separate video if you so desire. But until then, for all those who watch this video, thank you so much for watching the video. And now if you'll excuse me, I got some Chaos Freak. You guys enjoy your runs.